Pitbull. He waits outside that void, and they call it borders, and they wait. When they come across, they fire. Or if Yair throws a jab, he's going to try to fire over the top. You see a lot of these guys. What's Jones? Michael Chandler's kind of like one of them. They kind of wait, and they kind of have a hard time fighting to get across the void. I've done it my whole career, and I feel like the very end of my career, I finally mastered it. And it's basically going in there doing stop hands. Walk your opponent down and force the clinch, force the wrestling, force that. When they run, then you try to hit them when they get out of there. But unfortunately, he wasn't able to get a W tonight. One of the things that Yair Rodriguez did very well is, he was very mature, very calm, very, very calm. Throwing the body kick, throwing some, crazy kicks here and there, but he was super calm, using the range and his longest weapon, which was his kicks. He got so many free body kicks from the Southpaw to Orthodox that there was nothing that Pitbull could do because he couldn't get to him. Right, I think Pitbull maybe had one good thing, but he tends to let wins get away from him. If you go back and watch the Sergio Pettis fight, it was almost the same thing. He just couldn't get off on his opponents. Now, if this was 4 or 5 years earlier, I think it could have been a different fight because he was more aggressive about forcing the fight.
Go ahead.
Horrible stoppage, John.
It was not a good stop.
Okay.
The reason it was not, first off, you've got to give time for the person to try to work themselves, because everything is about them working themselves to a better position or being able to stop the attack that's coming. Sean Woodson was getting up. He was working at getting up. And if he's getting up, that's telling you he's still thinking and he's still in the fight. Yeah. You got to let him go. And it was stopped at that point when he was getting up. So what I really feel sorry for in this is, obviously the referee doesn't want to, have an early stoppage, but people need to not get on Dan Ige for the stoppage. Dan Ige didn't do anything wrong. He was put himself in a position to win that fight. He might have won that fight, if it had gone just a little bit more, because he could have landed a shot. It could have been all over. But Sean Woodson deserves, especially in this type of fight, because this is a big fight for him, you got to give him some rope. And when he's at least working to try to get to a better position, and he was trying to stand himself up, which is the right place for him to be in this, point of the fight where he's having problems. It was ended a little early.
Yeah, and there's also the fans, of course. But if you ask me, if you're in my position right now, the beef can stay aside for now. And the only thing that I'm looking for right now is fighting for that belt. What happened? I think when the moment comes, we will talk more about it. But for now, I just want to focus on that title fight, which is fighting against the current champ, Alexander Volkanovski, on a rematch. And I want to do that in Guadalajara.
To think you would go to Mexico to fight him in that big Guadalajara show in September. Is that something you'd be willing to do?
September. I mean, if everything's good, I'd probably like to go soon, quicker than that, to be honest. That's probably the second fight. So maybe it can be, if I'm good, maybe I get the fight, maybe July or September. Oh, yeah, we can maybe fit it in. I mean, Mosvar, you know what I mean? Like, you take if they want to do that, if they want to quickly go and I feel good, maybe quick turnaround with Mosvar if I don't have busted hands. We'll see. Like I said, that was my plans. Bang, 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 bang. But I didn't expect to get hit this much. So credit to fucking Diego.
The next fight, of course, that everyone's talking about for you guys is Movsar. What do you think, man? Like, are you excited about the potential of him being next? There are some fans out there that say, look, it's maybe not the most exciting fight, but he's done so much in the division. He kind of deserves his crack at the belt.
Well, realistically, he does deserve it. But, there was no talk of him at all at the presser. There was no real talk of him at all. Everyone was talking about Yair and everybody else except him, and it's sort of a bit sad that I guess he's not a very, exciting, and he doesn't bring much to the table, but he's unbeaten and he's on a run. If anyone deserves a shot, it's actually him, but it's up to the powers that be. We were supposed to get that shot with Ilya and they gave it to Max, so you just never know how or what the powers above us are going to tell us, you know, and who we've got to fight.
Boys and girls, yeah, you cannot do that against somebody like him. Understand this. This is what Max did to Jose Aldo. Max fought Jose Aldo twice, and he stopped him both times. Now, one time he went clockwise, and one time he went counterclockwise, and they involved different weapons. But if you're going to go clockwise if you're going to go to the outside, you're going to make them follow, right? You're going to go to the outside of their jab hand, so the power hand has to follow. The more you turn them, the more they have to follow to catch up with you, right? Because they don't want you to get an angle on them, so they're going to follow. As he did this, he was getting popped with the jab consistently. And as he tried to follow him, he's getting leg kicked consistently, which means you have to reset and reset and reset and reset. And of course, the damage can be accumulating to the point where the right eye of Lopez was quite swollen. Now, I don't think that was just from the jab. There was obviously some hooks that you saw Volkanovski was able to land, like really, really great combinations. He rolled underneath and then landed his own. That was fucking phenomenal. But the point I'm trying to make is you're getting turned. And if you're getting turned, it makes it hard to throw kicks. It means the second dude, we're talking little windows, but that's what the window is. If you and I are 50-50, we're level, and I take an angle on you, there's a window where you have to follow. And in that window, your defense sucks. And every time he was getting popped for that for the course of 25 minutes, and he never, ever made a correction.
Beautiful, man. The guy, again, he's 35, over 35. He's had 2 knockout losses. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. But fuck you gonna say now? Yeah, I love it. I love when a guy like that, a guy who earns it, fuck deserve, he earns it, and he's a great man. And show why he's great, in and out of the cage. So, yeah, beautiful to watch. I'm inspired. I'm very inspired. Yeah.
It took a while. I can't do that here. Can't do that here.
Bro, Diego, for being in the 5th round, is in pretty fucking crazy shape. 5th and final round, fellas. Both these dudes are in crazy shape. Like, this is a high fucking pace fight. Diego Lopez is legitness. I felt like Diego was just pressing him, but I didn't watch it that close. I want to go back and rewatch that fight. Wow, what a fucking legend. Volk comes back from getting knocked out by Islam, getting knocked out by, Islam, and then Ilya. Wow.
Not to mention the fact that all the other people in the conversation for the other potential greatest featherweight of all time, he's beaten them. And when it comes to Max Holloway, he beat him not once, not twice, but 3 times. And of course, he's beaten Aldo. So yeah, listen, come on, he's done it. He is the king of the crop. He is the king of the featherweight division, a 2-time featherweight champion. And I tell you what, I feel like he might defend the belt a few more times. He said to us, he wants to be busy. He wants to be active. He wants to get back in there very quick because he knows he's 36. He hasn't got too much longer at the top, but I'll tell you what it is, enjoy him while you can, because there will not be another fighter like Alexander Volkanovski, one of the coolest guys, the funniest guys, most humble, down to earth, and an absolute killer when he gets in the octagon.
God, Paddy Pimblett is actually really good. You know, every time we get one of these European guys that come to the UFC and they have all this hype that comes with them, we as Americans, we almost wait for them to get humbled. We almost know that there will be a time where they get in over their head and they won't be able to handle whatever is sent in their direction. We thought it was going to be King Green. He submits him in a round after hurting him with a punch. Tonight was supposed to be the night that he would have the toughest challenge of his career in Michael Chandler. Not only was it not the toughest challenge of his career, I would say it was his best performance and his most convincing win in the UFC. So many people hold on to the Jared Gordon fight and say, well, if Jared Gordon can fight him in the way that he did, I know I can beat Paddy Pimblett. But he keeps improving. He's big for the weight class. He has super high level grappling. His striking. Now, this is where I think people get confused. Conor McGregor was the last guy we had that had this type of hype when he got here. But Conor McGregor looked like a finished product. Paddy Pimblett at times hangs his chin up in the air when he throws punches. Paddy Pimblett may back up and throw at the same time. Paddy Pimblett doesn't look like he is as refined as Conor McGregor was, so he may not seem as ready. But that's false. It works for him. All those punches, he's now pressuring guys, and his confidence is raising more and more. And that only makes him more dangerous.
I'm fighting soon. You know the fucking vibe. I know.